Shine Wild Pack, it's Bernadette, and I'm here with your Pick a Card Tarot reading for Friday, May 28th, 2021. Hi, y'all! Oh, I can't wait to tell you all about who came for you this morning. It's never happened before. I'm just so excited, and it's gonna be magical. The word for today is magical. So, if you're new to my channel, welcome. Welcome to the metaphysical madness that happens up all around in here. And, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, hit the bell, make sure you get all the notifications because there's always something crazy going on here. For my longtime subscribers, I love you so much. And I just hope this weekend for you is the stuff dreams are made of. Please make sure that you get on over to my forums, wildpackwisdom.com/forums. That is where I hang out. That's where I answer all questions. That's where I'm involved with my community. And that is where you will find me if you would like to join. It's free and it's always a good time. So let me just say, this is so crazy. This is just so crazy. So today is Heart Chakra Day. It's Friday and it's ruled by the planet Venus. So it's all about who you love. It's about your communication. It's just about magical things if you want it to be. And for the first time ever, I've never had this come before, y'all, ever. But, I've said for months now that the animal allies really are asking us to expand our, our relationship with them and our work with them to see animals, the animal kingdom, even mythological and fantasy creatures. Hint about what today is. And, because things that are thought about are thought forms and then they're real. They're as real as you and I sitting here, watching each other, talking to each other, as real as that gets. And who knows how real that may be. Some people have the theory that we're all really, part of a hologram. So, Ellie Crystals. I don't know if you ever checked out crystallinks.com, but Ellie's a buddy of mine. And she's just the coolest lady. So, she believes, she was a science teacher for many years in her, in New York, and she really believes in the science of this, or the potential science, and she really believes we're all holograms and none of this is real. So today, when I was meditating before the reading, and I was just kind of shuffling the arc, and for those of you, again, that are just joining, I read from my own award-winning, history-making deck, the Arc Animal Tarot and Oracle deck. And it is based on the Rider-Waite Tarot. However, it is the bigger purpose are all of the spirit animals that are spirit totem and power animals that are in it. And so I just kept seeing, as I was shuffling, I just kept seeing all of the smaller creatures of forests. Not small creatures from around the world, but of forests. And I just kept seeing them one right after the other. And I was told to draw as many... as many, small forest creatures out of the arc, and just tell y'all hummingbird, blue jay, bees, weasels, armadillos, squirrels, possums, spiders, snails, diving beetles, if there's a water pool nearby, skunks, praying mantis, martins, which are part of the weasel family, beavers, flies even, and then baby centaurs. But it was the only, baby centaur was the only animal that wanted to come out that's a forest dweller, because, unicorns and certainly Pegasus could be argued to be forest creatures. And they all start out as babies, but then they grow up to be, centaurs are big honking adults. They are... they're part horse and part human. So by the time, especially the males, by the time they grow up, they're ginormous. But I was told about baby centaur in there. And then ladybug, woodpecker, although some woodpeckers can be really big. There are varieties of woodpeckers that are beansy weensy. Pigeons, cecropia moth, butterfly, of course, raccoon, dove, cricket, and firefly, rats, dragonflies, I'm getting there, rabbits, and mice, mouses. Okay, and I'm sure I missed a few, and I'm sorry to my animals. I'm looking down at my deck. I'm apologizing to the animals of the deck. And it is about the animals, but it's not. It's really about the forest, and it's about other dwellers in the forest. And all I kept hearing was, tell them it's about the wee ones, the wee ones, the wee ones. And I kept hearing all these stories in like Gaelic dialect, um, in Irish accent, in Scottish accent, in British accents. And then I even heard in Norwegian accents, just anywhere where German accents where there are forests, like the Black Forest, the big forest of Europe, the forest over here in America, the forest over in in the UK. And it's about the wee ones. It's about the wee ones. And I'm like, okay, do you just mean little animals? And all of a sudden, fairies and gnomes and sprites and all other kinds of mythical fantasy creatures just started playing around with the animals in the forest that they had taken me to. Now, if you're just joining me, no, I didn't wake and bake. No, I haven't had morning margaritas. Yes, this is a real message. What can I tell you? Part of being a shaman, part of being a seer, part of being a psychic, a medium, intuitive, et al. There are about 9,000 names for what we do, right? Intuitive tarot reader is that you're willing to see what's really being shown to you and not push spirit away when it comes to you. Now, you've got to know clearly what's a flight of fancy and what is intuition, but listen, they're so closely interconnected. It's the willingness to receive. It's the clarity. It's the hollowness of your bone, of your, of you are, that you remove your judgments and you remove your filters, and you do have the eyes to see and the ears to listen and the heart to receive. And so on this day of communication, on this day of love, I just don't know any other way to say it other than if you don't, whatever is mystical and magical and supposedly mythological to you, it's not. And it's really time for you to open up to what you may think is a fantasy or a childhood dream, and it's not real, or right now among my circle of friends, because we're all single, right? Right now we're calling the guys that would be really good for us, or the women, I have a large circle of friends, or the non-binary, et al. We're all calling our future mates, and getting what we know that we want and what we know that we need. And is the right person, our person, the person for us, we're calling them magical unicorns. It's a joke. For some really, they joke about it, but they truly don't believe. They just don't. It's nice to talk about, it's nice to think about, but in their spirit, that they're out. They don't believe. I'm a Hope Springs Eternal person. What can I tell you? I absorbed the vibes of Walt Disney, growing up so close to it, and, being a Disney kid when I was growing up. I'm a Disney kid now, and I'm never going to grow up. And, so there, but psychic is psychic, and shamanic work is shamanic work. And knowing that and maybe you never believe in fairies or elves or gnomes or sprites or any nymphs or any other forest mythological creatures, but you have to believe in forests. They exist. Have you ever spent time deep in a forest? I don't mean a few 100 feet in. I don't even mean a half a mile in or a mile in. You ever been 5, 6, 7, 8 miles out in a forest? That is and we're talking the forests of Florida. Okay, listen, the forests of Florida ain't no big thing. There's some pine trees. There's a whole bunch of scrub oak. There are a few grand oaks still running around out there. It's flat, and that's about it. But you talk about the forests of the Carolinas or Virginia, now you're talking some forests. Now you're talking some woods. You get out to Montana way, Now you're talking. It's easy to believe in just about anything in one of those kind of places. So your message of today may be as simple as it's just really important for you to get into nature. I won't go into the science of it now, but I'm sure you all have heard of earthing. There's a whole science behind earthing. Just like there's a science of why when people go to the beach, they can't when they feel drunk, or when they get the kids home, the kids are out for like 16 hours. Of course, it's the sun. Some of it's that they played hard. But if you're by salt water, there's a whole ionization thing that goes on. Just like there's a whole science behind absorbing earth energies and that kind of thing through your little tootsies, or if you lay down on the earth or whatever. Um, I grew up in the woods. I didn't I it was decades before I realized what how different a person really turns out to be if they're raised smack in the city around nothing but concrete and the one or two trees that everybody, their dogs pee on every morning. They've got they got a couple of ferns in their condo and they think that they're in nature. And if that's what they can do, that's what they can do. And I'm not making fun of it, but until you've ever been in the middle of a forest, a real forest, or the middle of real woods, I have to think on that. I don't even know that I can describe the feeling, but it's where I would live every single solitary day of my life if I could, and I will find a way at some point. Oh yes, I will. So that may be your message today, but I don't think so. I think the message is much deeper. Whether it's fairies, whether it's dwarves, whether it's elves, whether it's gnomes, sprites, nymphs, whatever other forest creatures I'm not thinking of, it's about the littles. And that means little ones, little ones, little ones. It's about the wee ones. And what that means is no matter how wee your dream is, no matter how little your dream might seem, your fantasy, your mythology, your story that you are telling yourself or wishing upon, it still as alive and real as it's just as alive and real as anything. You don't have to dream about making a gajillion dollars. You don't have to dream about being the CEO or the this or the that or the whatever. That, my favorite thing is when people go, she's a stay-at-home mom. Like that's any smaller than being the CEO of a Fortune 500 company. Are you joking me right now? Come on now. I just go crazy when people say stupid stuff like that. And yes, it's a judgment. And yes, I think it's stupid. Write me in the comments and tell me how judgmental that is. It is. I own it, and I'm okay with that. But there's something so emotionally charged about, maybe for you, maybe you're in a financial place where actually getting your hair cut and colored is something that you've wanted to do for over a year through the COVID thing, but you don't want to spend the $80 or the $120 to do it. That's a big dream. Maybe you I don't even know. Maybe you dream about entering a poetry contest. Not even about winning, but just having the gall, the courage, to enter one little poetry contest. I don't know what it is. It can be anything, but whatever it is, please, please, please communicate with yourself. Have the clear communication to know that it's not a fantasy. It's not mythology. It's your story, and you've got to believe in your own wee one. And as much as I say I don't care for the phrase inner child, and I don't, maybe that's what this is about. Maybe it's time for you to go back to that inner child and bring forth that wee one, make friends with it, heal it. I don't know. All I know is it's a very emotionally charged feeling that I got. At first it was elation, and it was saying hi to all the forest creatures. And then when I got into the heart of the matter, and we really sat in circle and they talked to me, And, there's big old me with all these little wee ones around me. I felt like a Lilliputian, I felt like Gulliver in the land of the Lilliputians. But, it is, it's just so important. It's just so important. I hope that was helpful. I'm going to get off this reading before I bawl my eyes out. Just because I know the spirit of you all. I know the spirit. I know your spirit. I feel it every day in every way. And it just kills me that any of you out there are thinking that you're too small, you're too wee, your dreams are too this, it's too that, they're not real, they're fantasy. It kills me. It's like somebody took a big old staghorn and just went eat, eat, eat. Or a knife, or whatever. It just kills me. And so, if there's any way I can help you with that, please let me know. I'd be very happy to help you any way that I can. Get over to wildpackwisdom.com/forums. Get over to my forums. Ask me questions. Share your feelings. Whatever I can do to help you realize you're no wee one. Your dreams, your heart, your spirit is no wee one. Although it is. I'm not demeaning wee ones, right? I'm not taking anything away from their power. They're this or they're that. But you're seeing it as we. And I don't know what yours, but it's we, right? Okay. I got to go. I hope that's helpful. I hope you all have a grand weekend. Who the heck knows what tomorrow's reading is going to bring? Great googly moogly. And I really am going to try to get with the program here on the Sunday ceremony for this Sunday. It's just been a little crazy for y'all, and thank you so much for your patience. So, pick up your copy of the Arcanimal Tarot and Oracle deck, get on over to my forums, subscribe to my YouTube channel, but one of the most important things, to do good for animals, including yourself, and stay wild.